I don't know if you know this, but making fake Pokemon is kind of my thing. So I'm saying this at the risk of getting art block immediately, but let's make like 13 Pokemon and stuff it into one video, which may or may not do well depending on how much the YouTube algorithm hates me. Let's go! We'll start with this line based on Minmies, or at least that's how I think you say it. Basically, these are all from my Australia-based region, and Minmies are dinosaurs from Australia. They don't exist now, obviously, but yeah. For a while now, I've had a pretty good idea, or at least I would say it's a pretty good idea, for a Minmie Pokemon. That's a fossil, it is a barbecue, which doesn't sound too genius on its own, but trust me, it gets more smart the more it evolves. And when I show you its counterpart fossil, this Pokemon is probably just pure fire type, maybe fire rock. I do enjoy the idea of all fossils being rock type, except for the Galarian fossils, because they had to make them non-rock, so their typings would all work out with each other. But I like the idea that these Pokemon are made from rock because they've been recreated from fossils. It just makes a lot of sense to me. It's cool using real-world science in Pokemon. Anyway, I like the barbecue on its back manually, and here is Minnie, because Minnie and Minnie, I had to do it, man. The fire type, and I would say that's pretty cute, and I love its evolved form, which I will show you in a second. Now for this really fast one. Basically, the whole point of it is that it's a grass llama. Definitely, I promise you, that is the whole point. Promise you, totally, definitely promise you. Also, this one will 100% be getting a redesign at some point. I'm not too happy with the way the face looks and how empty that top part of the head is. So consider this a prototype. You know, just a regular grass llama. That's it. And here it is. It's called Oation for no particular reason. Anyway, keep going. Now for some big boys. Well, actually, he's not really a big boy because it's a one stage. Full evolution to this guy might be in the works, maybe at some point, because it looks evolved. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Let's keep going. This guy's based on the Hawkesbury, cryptid. It's basically a complete Australian ripoff of the Loch Ness Monster, or maybe it came before. I don't know, but it's basically the same thing. And I created a very innovative, in my way, idea to explain how there's never a not blurry photo of this animal, nor the Loch Ness Monster. I use animal very lightly. So basically, this Pokemon is a grass type that takes in the energy from the cameras that try and take the photos and basically just blinds itself from being seen, causing that dark silhouette that you see in a lot of cryptid sighting, because it's obviously a lie, or at least I think so. I don't know anyone who would disagree, but if you do, that's cool, man. So here it is, Horksqueeze, a grass and electric type. Let's keep going. This is the evolution to Minnie. Still a great name, by the way. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, because I don't know, bro, just like and subscribe. It's the only pay I get for doing this kind of stuff, so do it, you know? Anyway, I started with this camel turtle, but also Minnie design that kind of looked weird. With more passes, it could have looked good, but nah. I moved on from that pretty quickly into a new design, and then a new design, and a few more. Basically, the concept behind this Pokemon is it is a barbecue. And if you know anything about barbecues in Australia, you know what I'm thinking. Shrimp on the barbie. Now, I'm not trying to be stereotypical or anything, but shrimp on the barbie is a pretty important part of Australia, or at least stereotypical Australia. No hate to Australians if that place is even real. So later on in this video, I will be making a shrimp on the Barbie Pokemon, or a shrimp Pokemon, because this is the Barbie. Anyway, I finally get to a design that I actually really like. Probably one of the best Pokemon I've ever drawn. Not self-glaze here, but I think it really fills that Aggron niche that a lot of Pokemon have. The only critique I could see about this Pokemon is it might not change enough. Physically it changes a lot, but the concept might not change a lot. and I think I'm fine with that. It does change quite a bit considering I would imagine this guy either gets the added steel type or rock type and it just becomes a little barbecue. But even if you don't think that's enough and there should be more inspiration, I kind of don't care. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but this sort of niche of design is OG Pokemon. OG Pokemon where the concepts were not that deep, and this is an homage to those kind of designs, so I don't see the need of adding like complicated like new additions to it when it's supposed to fill that kaiju niche. I don't think people think too much while making kaijus, do they? Like Nidoking or Kangaskhan, they just put an animal and then just slapped a typing. For Kangaskhan, they didn't even do that. And then they slapped a dinosaur onto it. That's kind of what I did here, except I took the animal out and replaced it with an object. So it's, you know what, I don't feel the need to explain myself. I'm not trying to be rude, just, that's my thoughts. What am I even saying, bro? You guys aren't gonna care. I mean, probably. Sudden death threats in the comments if you care, but also subscribe while you're there, you know? This guy could get a lot of typings, actually. He could get either rock type, ground type, or steel type, depending on what you want. So it's your guys' choice. And here he is. Minmonstew, which is kind of a mouthful, but it's Minmi, Monster, and Stew. So yeah, fire and whatever other type you want to put on it. Now for the evolution of Ewasion. This is also a really good one in my opinion. I think I'm falling into that peak part of my Pokemon drawing. Of course, I'm always getting better, but I think I've reached a spot where I can call myself somewhat professional. Basically, the very non-suspicious oasis that took so long to say is actually an oasis, which is places like in deserts you'll find, like, if you're so hot, you'll see, like, hallucinate almost, and see stuff like water and trees that you want to eat and drink. So now we got the added water on it, but this water is not actually water. It's more like poison that it keeps in its sacs, because now it's a camel. Don't ask me how that makes sense, because it doesn't. Anyway, yeah, it's this poisonous but sweet substance that wafts around the air, confusing the enemy. So it's not about heat anymore, it's more about poison, as I just said. And you may have noticed that all the Pokemon in this video are in different art styles. I'm experimenting, and this, the one I'm doing right now, is the art style I'm probably gonna go forward with, because it's just the most fun for me, and it just looks the best, personally. Not all of you may be fond of it, but, and I'm sorry if you do, and you're not actually a fan of it, but I like it. So here is now for a non-Pokemon character. I apologize if it's kind of ugly. I'm not good at drawing Pokemon, but trust, it looks like really bad at the start, and then it gets progressively better, and it actually turns into something I really like. So originally, this was just some drawing activity to just get my creative juices flowing. I just asked my sister to pick some random colors, and I would turn it into a character. And I didn't go with that, because I was like, maybe I just make my rival, or the player's rival in this theoretical game. And now is right about where it starts looking like the actual character, who I've dubbed Joey. His eyes and facial expression I messed with a bit, and then I finally got it to something good now. And I gave him these really cool, like, star-shaped, like, holes in his jeans. I think that's just a really inventive way to work jeans into a character design. I've heard actually Ray talked about this, where she says she really likes drawing, like, clothes that don't exist in real life, but she wishes they exist in real life. That's the kind of thing for me. I wish those jeans existed in real life. Those would be sick to wear in the spring, like right now. Anyway, more about the character. He is heterochromia, which means his two eyes have different colors. And I know it's kind of an elementary way to make a character, but I don't know, I like it. And you can see the rest of him on the character sheet. I didn't do like a character sheet. I just showed stuff, you know. and I'll talk more about it when I show you the full thing, which is here. So here's Joey. He's 14, but he's really short at 5'2". He hates authority, which kind of works with him wearing a jacket and scarf in Australia. He's a class clown and not above breaking the rules, but he's a genuinely kind person and will help you out throughout the story if you need it. He's the friend that annoys you, but you're still chill with him, giving both the people who like annoying rivals and the people who like carefree happy rivals something to like in this design. So yeah, I love Joey. I think his design is really good. I mean, at least in my opinion. Comment what you think about him, and let's go to the next Pokemon. Now for quite a special one. This is a redesign, or sort of redesign, of a drawing that Dano made for a contest for my vision, and he politely asked if he could, if I could do something with his drawing. And I said, of course, I'd love to, and I originally even wanted to add it to the region before he asked, but I felt bad that I didn't tell the people who were doing the contest about this, so I ended up not doing that. And as you can see, the original design, I showed it like a few seconds ago. You can just go back. It's less snake-like than this one. I went for a snake design because I thought that would be a little more interesting. This redesign of his design, even though his design is great, obviously it's great. I wouldn't have picked it if it wasn't. Needs a redesign. My redesign of his drawing needs a redesign. The only reason I changed the concept a little is because this trope has been done. It's not unoriginal, but it has been done. Specifically by True Green 7, and I don't want to take that away. So I decided that since the original Pokemon is like a bundle, this one will be an unwrapped bundle or snake. So here it is. His name is still Cole Balwer. I hope that's how you say it. And yeah, thank you so much, Dano. Speaking of contests, by the way, the contest in which I evolved your Pokemon will be coming soon. I'm working on it. I promise. I didn't forget it. Done one design complete already, and I'm doing a drafted design right when the contest ended. Regardless, I don't want to take this guy's spotlight away, this little baby boy that I made. This is based on the Yamarahu, which I think that's how you say it. Never mind, it's Yamarahu. And it's also based on a koala, because koalas, they live in Australia. Why would I not make a koala Pokemon? And oddly enough, coconuts. I made this connection that the drop bear which is a mythological koala, and the Yamayahu both like drop down and attack you. Same as coconuts, because they kill a lot of people just by dropping on people's heads. So I thought that'd be a very smart way to create a koala Pokemon. This is the only design I've made for this Pokemon. I will evolve it, of course. Maybe it becomes a pseudo-legendary, maybe it becomes a regular Pokemon. Anyway, here is Hawaiian from Kawaii, Coconut, Koala, and the monster that I already said. Because I'm not saying that. Anyway, now for this design. This one's probably the oldest one out of this video. Maybe not, but maybe. I'm not sure, man, but I think it might. Anyway, regardless, let's talk about the actual Pokemon. Basically, I found out that aphids are farmed by ants, and I thought this was a very funny connection, so I used the word farmed very differently with this Pokemon. Ants use aphids to protect from like enemies or threats, but this guy isn't used for that. It's used as an actual farm animal. So I mixed it with some cow influence, and later on I also mixed it up and I add in a sort of farmer motif to it so that it kind of gets all of that in. So I give it this little like bunion thing. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's like that white shirt that farmers wear. That might just be something I use in my house. I have no clue, man. Anyway, my second pass works out a lot better. Even though it is a cow, I make it less bulky. Also, this really works in my region because the whole point of my region is that animals adapt and humans do too. So this Pokemon adapts to look like a cow. And I think it'd be really funny if it was actually like the size of a cow and people actually use it as a farm animal. Maybe I make a farm gym leader and this guy's his ace. Or her ace. That's a good idea, actually. Maybe not, that's the next video, who knows? By the way, I don't know if you guys like this series a lot, the Dream region. I don't know, it's not gone crazy. I'm not sure if you guys like it, but if you do, I don't even know if people make it this far into the video. Just sub and like, you know? And just comment down if you want me to keep doing this. Because I'm conflicted. But I do enjoy this series a lot. It's my main motivation for making Pokemon. So yeah, here is a floor, which I think is a really solid new addition to the decks. So yeah, let's go on. Now for another really old one and a long one. This took me a lot of time to draw. Basically, the whole gimmick for my region is that we have speculative, I can't say this word, bro. Speculative evolution. And someone requested that we do it for the starters, and we give starters speculative evolution. And basically, for our thing here, speculative evolution, I have to stop saying this. I cannot say this word, but anyway, speculative evolution is basically like paradoxes, but they're like actually real. Like this is actually how these Pokemon would have worked. Very similar to paradoxes, as their sort of future things. Anyway, you know what? Watch my speculative evolution video. I'm a gatekeep you, bruh. Anyway, I did this Charizard one because someone requested that we do it for the Kanto starters, like a long time ago. I said sure, and then I did this, and I haven't been able to. I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I'm making it seem like it's your fault. I'm really bad at keeping schedules. I know that's not. I'm really sorry, okay? It's my bad, but here it is. I tried to make it like a seahorse dragon thing, and I think this is a really successful design. I love the way I shaped the face. It really just evolves Charizard's design into something new, and its hands and its feet are a lot smaller. So yeah, here is Speculative Evolution Charizard. I think this is a really sick design. Alright gang, now for another starter, but this time it's our starter, the Dramic Otter starter. And this is kind of conflicting because I really love this little guy, but to me it doesn't look enough like a starter. I don't know, I'm a little confused if I should keep this as a starter or let it just be a water type. Basically, this is a design almost a year in the making, where I had this idea of a blobfish that pretends to be like a dog, because it's ugly and it wants to be cute. And I had a design years ago that I probably showed on this channel. I also might have deleted the videos, I don't think so though. So yeah, I just did that, but I made it cuter. and more feminine, though it might lose that as it evolves. And I gave it little pearls. So here is, I don't have a name for it, so you guys can name it, I guess. And let's evolve it now. Originally, I wanted to evolve this guy into sort of like a monster, but then I decided that it would be a lot more fun if I just made it a cute dog again. And don't worry, the concept does change, I promise you this. Because the little pearl that it has is now a seeing glass, or a seeing ball, or whatever you call it, man. And then it becomes full-on seeing glass later. So I made it more dog-like with a muzzle that attaches to this collar that I used to have. And I tried stuffing that little thing, the ball, like in his mouth so it looks like a tennis ball, but that didn't really work, so I kind of gave up on that. So yeah, added some finishing details, kept the colors the same except for the yellow, and here is a little unnamed boy. I don't have a name for him, but I like him. He's cool. So yeah, that was that. That was tiring, bro. I did that over the span of like 2 weeks or something. I don't know. That was a lot of work for me. And there's gonna be a part 2. So sub and like and sub and like and please, man. Please. 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 Sub and like. Please. Sub and like.